This is the earliest we've ever been late.
Please be seated.
Welcome to this celebration. Today we're going to honor Jack and Tom. We will refer to them as their formal names several times during the day. We will mention Tom as Tommy every once in a while. It's because he has joy in his heart all the time, and he's just a big kid like the rest of us. For those of you that are joining Troop 56 for the first time, this is a troop that does things. We don't stand on ceremony too much. This troop allows scouts to follow the program well, teaching them how to think, how to be teachers and leaders. And that's what we're most proud of. When they stand before you on an afternoon celebration like today, it is a celebration from the time that they were tiny people to big kids like a lot of these people right here, and that's all we are. Okay. Enjoy yourselves. If you want to applaud, please do so. If you feel emotional, that's okay too. No one is stressed here except for me. Okay, that's my job. All right? And I do get emotional at these things because I'm so proud of all of these young men that come forward to us. Professor, at the time, Woodrow Wilson, once said that every man set out from a university should be a man of his nation as well as a man of his time. He was confident that the men and women who carry the honor of graduating from this institution, he was referring to Princeton, will continue to give from their lives, from their talents, a high measure of public service and public support. When you become an Eagle Scout, you are an Eagle for all of your life. And these gentlemen have willfully taken on that responsibility. Someone did that, I don't even have to sign it. Thank you very much. Mr. McGuire, Mr. Minogue, and Mr. Dempsey, are the candidates with you? Is the honor guard now assembled? Let's do a roll call here. Vernon McGuire, present?
Yes.
Yes. Very good. Mr. Patrick Dempsey, present?
Yes.
Mr. Michael Minogue, present?
Yes.
Wow, we're off to a great start. Gentlemen, you represent the spirit of scouting. Do you verify that the candidates have completed their Trail to Eagle? This is when you say yes. Thank you. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure for you to serve as their honor guard. Please bring them forward. Mr. Scoutmaster, our Eagle candidates have assembled. The honor guard is actually all here. On behalf of the Patriots Path Council, the national headquarters of the Boy Scouts of America, and the Pioneer District, I ask you for your permission to commence this court of honor.
Let's begin.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Senior Patrol Leader. Please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute! I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Scout sign. On my eye.
I will do my best to do my duty to God my country and to obey Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Scout law.
A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
2. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, disperse. Thank you. Please remain standing. I would now like to invite Father Richard Carton for our invocation.
Good afternoon. It's just like being at church. Before doing the invocation, I just want to say a word to Tom and Tina. What an exceptional job you have done in forming these two young men. I've been in this community for 11 years, and from my first interaction with them to my last interaction with them a couple of minutes ago, they have that rare quality within young people that can come up to adult, stand toe-to-toe, eye-to-eye with an adult, carry on a conversation with an adult respectfully and nicely, and then walk away, and you are better because of the encounter. That just doesn't happen. That's part of the formation that they have received. I do want to share a funny story. You know, I don't know if you know this, Tom, but the bishop, our retired bishop, still remembers you very fondly because after your brother Jack was confirmed, you believed that if you went up and took the sacred chrism from his forehead and put it on your own forehead, then that should count as your confirmation. And a year later, when that same said bishop returned to the parish for confirmation, and I reminded him of that story, he remembered well, and he thanked God that you would come back and receive your own precious share of the chrism, that you didn't have to take your brother's. And that's what's beautiful about this also too. Here you are, side by side, sharing this moment of joy, this moment of honor as brothers. And that speaks so deeply of the bond that you share with each other. And I find great consolation in knowing that many of the saints in the church were either twins or were brothers or brother and sister, but it is that bond of love that you have for each other, again, something that has been formed and encouraged by your parents. So much to be grateful for, so much to give thanks for. Let us then pray. And as we do pray, I ask that you keep in prayer Pete Osmond, their grandfather, who is in hospital at this time, that our prayer may also assist him. Let us then pray. Heavenly Father, we praise and thank you for the gift that you have given us in this great nation. We thank you for the opportunities that are set before your people. We thank you that Tina and Tom have encouraged their sons to reach up and to grasp and to use those opportunities first for their good, but also to the benefit of those around them. And indeed, this is the command to love, that in loving you who are our Creator, we also are called to love one another. And we see that when we turn the attention that we can so often put on ourselves, not to the self, but to others, to ask the question, how can I be of service? These young men answer this question consistently over and over again, and so we praise and thank you for that. We praise for those in the scouting community who have encouraged them to understand their gifts, their talents, their potential, and also to reach for that, to be able to go beyond the self, to be able to be of service to the other. As we come to this court of honor this afternoon, we thank you for the blessings you have bestowed upon Tom and Jack. May this only be the beginning for them of a long road of success, a success that will be marked in their love for each other and in their love and their concern for their neighbor. To you we give all praise, thanksgiving, for it is you who have called us, made us, formed us in your own image. and we recognize that image so beautifully in these young men. May they continue to be an honor to you, to the Scouting community, and above all, to those who love them. Grant this, we pray, and all prayers we offer in faith through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Father. I would now like to invite Elizabeth Sutphin for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Except for you guys. Time to come to work.
Whenever you're ready.
We start?
Ready?
I was told not yet.
Okay.
All right. This golden flame represents a scout's honor, which must always burn brightly. When a scout takes the scout oath, he pledges his honor before the entire world.
Should I read them? Do I get the light candle?
Yes, you love that.
Wait. This gold flame, from this gold flame of a scout's honor. Oh, I pick it up? Oh.
No.
Wait, do I?
No, just light the red one.
Hey, from this gold flame of a scout's honor, a red candle is lit. Is it lit? No. You broke it. This is the flame of duty to God and country. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout law.
I light the second red candle, which is the flame of duty to others. On my honor, I will do my best to help other people at all times.
I light the third red candle of duty to self. Oh God, the spider's on there. Should I light the spider on fire? No. Right. On my honor, I will do my best to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
So that we may acknowledge our responsibilities and others, the golden flame bring to light the first blue candle represents the Scout motto, be prepared.
The second blue candle will acknowledge the Scout slogan, do a good turn daily, ever mindful that a Scout is ready to give service to others. Dermot, where's that blowtorch?
We pledge ourselves to the 12 points of the Scout Law. The Scout is trustworthy. The Scout tells the truth. Honesty and integrity is a part of his code of conduct. People can depend on him. Loyal. The Scout is true to his family, fellow Scouts and leaders. He is loyal to his country.
Helpful. A Scout is concerned about others. He willingly volunteers to help others to help others without expecting or accepting payment or reward. Friendly. A Scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to all Scouts. He respects others and their beliefs.
Yep. Courteous. A Scout is respectful to all, regardless of age or position. Kind. A Scout understands there is strength in being gentle. He treats others as he would like to be treated.
Obedient. A Scout follows the rules of his faith, family, school, and troop. He respects and follows the law of his community and country. Cheerful. A Scout looks on the bright side of life. He is positive and cheerful. He does all tasks that come his way with a smile.
Thrifty. A Scout works to pay his way. He saves for his future. He protects and conserves the world's resources. Brave. A Scout can face danger, even if he is afraid. He also has the courage to stand for what is right.
Clean. A Scout is clean in thought, word, and deed. Reverent. A Scout is reverent towards God. He is faithful in his religious duties and respects the beliefs of others.
I would now like to invite Patrick Dempsey for the reading of Majestic Eagle.
Raymond Levin.
I'm not Patrick, I'm James. That's my brother, he should know that. I am the eagle. Since the beginning of time, man has used me as a symbol of royalty, power, victory, authority, and valor. My strength and courage have inspired men through the ages. In Egypt and Babel, I was the symbol of the noonday sun, which signified their great spirit. In the golden age of Greece, I was the sacred bird of Zeus, ruler of all gods, and represented victory and the triumph of good over evil. In ancient Rome, I was a symbol of Jupiter, the supreme god. Romans saw me as a symbol of victory. As a Christian symbol, I represent salvation, redemption, and resurrection. Native Americans saw me as a symbol of great strength, leadership, and vision. One example is this Native American blessing. May you have the strength of eagle's wings, the faith and courage to fly to new heights, and the wisdom of the universe to carry you there. On June 20th, 1782, I became the symbol of a new country, the United States of America. I have a prominent place in America as a symbol of power, authority, strength, and freedom. The emblems of the president, vice president, several members of the president's cabinet, and the most branches of the armed forces center on the eagle. The Apollo 11 crew chose Eagle as the name for their lunar module, which was to make history. And with the words of Eagle Scout Neil Armstrong, "Houston, Tranquility Base here, the Eagle has landed. Man and scouting were on the moon." I represent great power and balance, dignity with grace, a connection with higher truths, a creative spirit, and grace through knowledge and hard work. In 1911, the Boy Scouts of America chose the eagle to symbolize the very highest in achievement. Throughout history, I have been the symbol of man's best. Now the eagle is a symbol of scouting's best. Thank you.
I would now like to invite the Troop Committee Chairman, Mr. Lavender.
Okay, so ahead of Trail to the Eagle, I'd like to introduce the Troop 56 Committee and friends. Jim Caparoso, Scoutmaster. Ray Hall. Kevin Dempsey, Troop Committee Chairman Emeritus. Jeremy McGuire, Mike Eggers, Denise Durso, John Deck. Ray Clark, Assistant Scoutmaster. Hernan Squisiato, and Dave Devonshire. Come on up, guys.
Mr. Caparoso needs to be on one side, Mr. Lavender needs to be on the other. Okay. No, it doesn't matter. Anywhere you want to go, Dave. As I had mentioned before, there's a lot of tradition in scouting. This is one of the elements of this ceremony that dates back to the 1920s, as did the opening. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dempsey.
This is the voice of the eagle whose heights you have struggled hard to reach. We remember when you first came to the base of the cliff and you looked up with ambition and determination. Look back for a moment. Look down the cliff you have climbed. Look at your experiences you have encountered in your ascent. These experiences should not be forgotten. You should profit by treasuring your achievements and making sure adverse experiences do not occur again. Experiences are valuable teachers if you heed their lessons. We remember when you took your first step upon the trail that led you upward.
With your first step, you begin to grow physically, mentally, and morally. You learned the scout oath and law and began living them. When you achieved your scout rank, you gave the scout sign and took the oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times. This is what we mean by scout spirit. Soon you became tenderfoot when we watched you study and we saw you learn by doing.
Soon you reached a ledge, and there you were greeted by a large group of second-class scouts. Some, like you, were stopping to catch their breath before continuing along the trail. You began to study more, and you worked harder. In completing second-class requirements, you proved yourself as a scout hiker, able to care for himself in the outdoors. You pledged yourself to scouting and maintaining the scout oath and law.
Almost before you knew it, you came to another ledge, the ledge where the first-class scout dwells. There you found a tempting green meadow by a clear stream, bathed in sunlight. Here, in this beautiful spot, you were tempted to remain. Yes, you could have remained here to live in the comfort of the first-class meadow, but your ambitions stirred you on. In qualifying for first class, you advanced from scout hiker to scout camper. In this experience, you improved your skills for living in the outdoors for longer periods of times and were better able to take better care of yourself and others.
The trail from first class to star was not as difficult as it seemed. You climbed farther, you climbed higher. The trail was steeper, but it was less worn. Fewer scouts seemed to be headed in the same direction. You looked down and saw the crowds below. You looked up and saw a few above you. And in the same determination that you started the trail, you continued upward. You advanced toward manhood in ways which obligated you to share your experiences with younger scouts. Your understanding of scouting grew, as did your stature. The fun and fellowship of the past were accompanied by the satisfaction in the service to others and your leadership to younger scouts.
The heart badge was placed on your uniform as you earned the rank of Life Scout. You will never forget your thoughts at that moment. Now that I am close to Eagle, I must carry on. I must achieve my goal. I must work to achieve my best. The trail became harder and tougher and more demanding, but it also became more interesting. The principles of the oath and the law had a fuller meaning, including the spirit of service and the mastery of scout skills that made Be Prepared a truly significant part of your life. We have watched your character unfold and become manly.
We have watched your leadership expand and become a valuable asset. We have observed as your actions demonstrated clear thinking and your wisdom grew. Now you are on the threshold of your goal. We extend our welcome to you, for you have climbed the true scout-like way.
We have been the voices of the Eagle.
That's a good question. The awarding of the Eagle Scout badge is an important and serious occasion. It is the climax and goal for which a scout works many years. It is an occasion for great pride and joy. It is also a time for serious contemplation. It is the culmination of the efforts of the various leaders here before you. The Eagle Scout Award is the highest and most coveted rank in scouting. Fewer than 5% of all scouts achieve the rank of Eagle.
Requirements for Eagle Scout rank are: earn 21 merit badges, including 13 required. They are citizenship in the community, citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the world, communications, cooking, environmental science or sustainability, first aid, personal management, life-saving or emergency preparedness, camping, personal fitness, family life, swimming or hiking or cycling. Serve actively in the troop position for a period of 6 months after becoming a Life Scout. Plan, develop, and carry out a service project worthy of an Eagle Scout as approved by the Troop Committee, Scoutmaster, Troop Advancement Chairman, and District Advancement Committee. Appear before a board review consisting of a council advancement representative, troop committee members, and distinguished community citizens, and satisfy the board that the applicant has done his best to understand and live up to the Scout oath and law, and he has completely qualified for the Eagle Scout badge.
Mr. Scoutmaster, Mr. Troop Committee Chairman, careful examinations have been made for the qualifications of John Austin Osmond and Thomas Fitzgerald Osmond for the Eagle Scout Award. Mr. Scoutmaster, Mr. Chairman, the required proficiencies in the various crafts and skills prescribed for the Eagle rank have been verified, and the records of the merit badges earned by John Austin Osmond and Thomas Fitzgerald Osmond confirm. Scouts John Austin Osmond and Thomas Fitzgerald Osmond have been approved and certified by the counselors appointed by this court. Jack has earned 43 merit badges and Thomas earned 41 merit badges. Both have been awarded bronze palms, gold palms, and multiple silver palms. The candidates have been checked in their leadership of Troop 56, school affairs, and the fields of work and service. Jack and Tom have demonstrated their loyalty to God and country and have qualified in this category also. Mr. Scoutmaster, Mr. Chairman, John Austin Osmond and Thomas Fitzgerald Osmond have passed the Eagle Scout Board of Review great tradition of Troop 56, and by their choice, they have exceeded the requirements for the rank of Eagle Scout. John Austin Osmond and Thomas Fitzgerald Osmond have been declared Eagle Scouts by the Boy Scouts of America.
This is the voice of the Eagle.
When the Eagle Scout badge was designed in 1912, it was decided that a small silver eagle would be suspended from a tricolored ribbon of red, white, and blue. So it remains today. I speak for all Scouts. We challenge Jack and Tom to accept the solemn responsibilities as well as the honor of the Eagle Scout Award.
These responsibilities are as follows. An Eagle Scout is to live with honor. His honor is sacred. An Eagle Scout will live so that he reflects credit upon his home, church, school, friends, and self. May the white of your badge remind you to live with honor.
An Eagle Scout is to be loyal. Neither pain nor profit, pride nor personal loss shall sway his loyalty. The blue on your badge is the emblem of loyalty.
An Eagle Scout is courageous. Courage gives all character, force, and strength. With trust in God and faith in his fellow man, he faces each day unfair and afraid and seeks his share of the world work to do. Let the red of your badge remind you of courage.
An Eagle Scout is service-oriented, extending a helping hand to those who toil along the scouting trail and to those who have assisted you in your journey. The daily good turn must take on a new meaning and make a better life for those you serve.
Protect and defend the weak and helpless. Confront the unfortunate and the oppressed. Uphold the rights of others as dearly as your own. You must always remember the real relationship is based upon meaningful service.
These have been the voices of the Eagle.
The Trail to Eagle is fun, both in reality and in this very moment. It's time now for the presentation of the Eagle Badge. Mr. Caparoso and Mr. Lavenders, please step forward. I forgot to tell you. Our Eagles, would you please come forward? Face these two gentlemen. Mr. Caparoso and Mr. Lavender represent Patriots Path Council and Patriot District. Gentlemen, at this time, would you both please grasp the left hand of the person in front of you? Raise your right hand. And by repeating the Scout Oath in unison, you rededicate yourself to its missions and ideals. Please begin.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, and mentally awake and morally straight.
Gentlemen, if you would please stand forward. Why don't you get your parents and have them join you up there? Adult leaders, don't go too far away. Jack and Tom, as you bring your parents forward, I ask you to take a minute and remove each other's life badge and give them to your mother, since she probably sewed them on. That's usually a safe.
Or magic.
I don't.
You can caps the table and just watch us, and you'll be very happy. Gentlemen, also at this time, I ask you to remind yourself of your brother's love, support, and guidance in your travels along the Trail to Eagle. You've answered challenges together, but you have earned your way as individuals. John Austin Osmond and Thomas Fitzgerald Osmond, we now proclaim to the world your accomplishments in the achievement of achieving the Eagle Scout badge. each adult leader. It needs to end up with Mr. Caparoso. As each adult leader passes the Eagle kit along, it represents their support in the trail for these two eagles. Passing of the Eagle badge and kit signifies the commitment of these adult leaders, which have touched and shaped your lives, and has also produced tremendous valuable guidance in your development. They represent all the leaders that you have encountered, both present and absent. Here's the interesting part of the program. We have never done two brothers at one time. So what we're going to do is, Cap, would you please give that last Eagle kit to Tom?
I have the kit.
You have the kit. And the other, why don't we have you stand right next to there, and we'll do this. In a change of script, we'll do it this way. Tom, if you would please take the Eagle badge out of that kit and present it to your mother. You have to have your father touch it first, though.
Oh, touch it.
Yep. Mrs. Osmond, if you would please pin that on top of the left pocket for Jack's uniform. Jack.
Oh,
Jack.
okay. It's a little,
It's a medal. Just got the medal. Throw the medal.
metal.
I'm sorry, I'm old-fashioned. I still sit back. That's correct. On the Eagle medal, there are the palms that I talked about before. Jack, if you would please take Tom's medal out of that.
Do I keep this?
You get to give that to Mr. Caparoso. If you would pass that to your father, please. Mrs. Osmond, if you would please put that on. Mom's do that. Troop 56, whenever we have a father, like we had with Jeremy and Dermot just a week or two ago, or brothers of different stages, they usually, the older brother provides his Eagle pin to his younger brother. But since the board's review are so close to each other and they're here together, you guys, by presenting the badges to your father, kind of honored that directly. So gentlemen, now your first acts as Eagle Scouts. In these kits that you have in front of you, there is the Father's Eagle pin. It is a symbol of your gratitude and recognition of the wisdom and support and guidance provided by your father. Please take the Eagle Scout Father's pin and present it to your father. You have to do that individually. They're not the easiest item to play with. Mothers are also special. They have a special kind of wisdom, support, guidance, and motivation as well. Gentlemen, if you would please present the Eagle Scout Mother's Pin to your mother. It is said that actually putting on your Eagle medal and getting these pins is the toughest part of becoming an Eagle Scout. Gentlemen, please escort your parents back to their chairs. Adult leaders, please have a seat. Thank you very much. Ray, what's next?
I would now like to invite Mr. Caparoso for the Eagle Scout Charge.
Boy Scouts of the world constitute one of the most wholesome and mythic movements in the history and have been counted worthy of the highest rank of each membership. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to your country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your brother Scouts. If you fail, you bring down the good name of all true and worthy Scouts. Your responsibility goes beyond your fellow Scouts, to your country and your God. America has many good things to give to you and your children, but these good things depend on the qualities instilled in her citizens. You are prepared to help America in all she needs most. She has great passion, and you are here to make her future greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only towards the best. Lift up every task you do, and every office you hold, to the highest level of service to God and your fellow men. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and abilities to the common good. Build America on a solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. Will you leave behind a record of which every Scout will be proud? If so, please say yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
If you are
my best
to make my training an example,
to make my training an example,
and make my rank,
and make my rank,
my influence,
my influence,
strongly count for better scouting,
strongly count for better scouting,
for better citizenship,
for better citizenship,
in my troop,
in my troop,
in my community,
in my community,
and my contact
with all people.
with all people.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
To
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
Gentlemen, I charge you to renew your place in the Eagle Scout Brotherhood, holding ever before you without reservation the ideals and honors of this service. Through these words, you just now use similar words and phrasing to those who, when first joined Scouting. Today they mean more than ever. Thank you. There's a lot of people here.
I know, right?
They must like you.
I'm very popular.
But they're a little bit of a problem. You guys are out of uniform.
Really?
Yes. When you joined Troop 56 and you achieved second class, you were awarded this maroon-colored neckerchief which has Troop 56 on the back. When you become an Eagle Scout, the troop awards you one of these. Scout Russell, Mr. Lavender, please come. These are National Eagle Scout Association neckerchiefs. Gentlemen, thank you. That was really good.
It does. I agree.
Thank you. Why don't you guys sit down? And now comes the fun part. Ray, what happens next?
Congratulatory remarks.
Why don't you guys come over here? You're too far away. Bring a chair, bring a chair. They gotta be on camera, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do this.
Thank you, thank you. Jack and Tom. So this is a great achievement by both of you. But, you know, like Mr. Klug said, it's even better that we're able to give this honor to both of you today as brothers. I've never seen that before, and it's awesome. You know, I've been a part of your scouting career since Cub Scouts, and, you know, I have to say, I'm very proud for you. I know everybody here is proud for you. I'm especially proud because I've seen you guys since you were this big up until now. You know, I know I speak on behalf of the others, and maybe I've said this before, but as a parent, you only get to watch your kids grow up once. But with Scouts, it's like every year it's another kid growing up who's yours. And, you know, I'm jealous of your parents. You feel like you're one of mine. So, you know, it's been great watching you guys grow from little boys up to young men. You know, that opportunity is a privilege for us, so I just want you to know that. So here we are today. So Jack, yeah, I've been very impressed with your ability to lead as a senior patrol leader. You led with enthusiasm, inclusiveness, optimism. You always had a plan. You always remained open to ideas of those around you. Help from others was never too big for you. That was the sign of a great leader. And it wasn't by accident that the committee put you in charge of the new Scout Patrol when your senior patrol duty was over, because we needed that kind of leadership starting from the grassroots up. Your attitude epitomized the culture that we're trying to build and maintain in this troop. And you really did a bang-up job. So you're helping us move forward successfully. Tom, so likewise, I'm impressed with the complementary skills you bring to the table with your brother. In some regards, you're like the perfect wingman. And he really is. I mean, if Tom sees something that has to be done, he jumps in and he does it. He fills the gap. If it's a group of scouts that's fumbling around and doesn't know what to do, Tom is right there helping them out of the hole. And you need to have folks like that in the troop. It might just be doing a task. It might be doing something that pulls the troop out of a messy situation. And in particular, I'm thinking about that camporee when we didn't have a skit. And you wrote that skit the next day and quieted the wrath of Mr. Dempsey. So Tom has a penchant for writing skits. He's actually pretty creative. I remember his first effort. It was like 2 years ago, 2019, Sabattis at the closing ceremony. It was Pink Flamingos in the Sky. What was it? Was that it? I think the both of you collaborated on that, right? I think Tom did the music. You did the choreography.
Was that with Mike or Sturman?
Well, it was like part music, part mime, and half Salvador Dali. So this was Tom and Dermot doing a ballet. You had to be there. You had to see it. I mean, I couldn't unsee it. Let's just put it that way. But you really, and then your next effort. So here was the story, right? We had Camporee. Every troop does a skit. Troop 56 fell flat. We didn't have one. Mr. Dempsey became bad Mr. Dempsey. You guys got yelled at, and Tom went home that night and wrote a skit for the ages. And you guys presented it the next day.
I could have used better actors.
Don't forget the deal we had at your board of review. I have merchandising rights and film rights to that skit. But that was Knowledge Scout, which is actually legendary. And you guys did a reprise of that during Dermot's hike. It was terrific. That's the kind of sense of humor. That's the kind of love that you brought to the troop was just terrific. And you're here for another year, so we're expecting some more stuff. I can't wait to see the next production. Knowledge Scout the Musical. All right, but seriously, both of you guys are the heart and soul of this troop, and your influence is going to be felt here for a long time. Thank you. Don't be strangers. Stick around. Always keep coming back, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Lavender. Next, Mr. Dempsey.
Thank you. Hi, guys. How we doing? So these last few days I've been thinking about the first time I remember meeting you. Now, it could have been in Cub Scouts, but there's a big age gap between my youngest and you guys. And the first time I remember meeting Jack was up in our beloved Sabattis. So at that particular effort, we had quite a bit of bad weather going on back and forth. And at this one day, it was just Mr. Caparoso and I, and there was about 40 scouts. And so we're trying to keep everything together, got the bad weather coming in and out, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're gonna have a, some stuff going on, so that's great. Mr. Cap was going on doing this, and all of a sudden, young Jack comes up to me, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, is everything all right? And he goes, well, I'm a little homesick. I'm like, ooh. And I immediately look for Mr. Cap, because as you know, he's the kind one, not so kind. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can handle this. So I start talking to him, and as you also know, I can start telling stories, so I'm telling stories and everything, and as I'm looking at Jack, his eyes are glassing over. About an hour later, he's like, okay, I think I'm done now, and was never, at least it wasn't to me, he was never homesick again. But that was great. We had a great time that first Sabbats, all the rain, everything. Forgot your flashlight only once, right? Yeah, that we remember. And lo and behold, like the next year, we have another Osmond. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I got to meet Tom. And the first time I got to know Tom was our first night. Now, Tom liked to know, what? Well, he liked to make sure that everybody knew that it was nighttime. So at about 1 o'clock in the morning, he calls out to make sure everybody knows it was nighttime. And that went on. So that went on for a few days, and we were working with him. But really, what was two of the best parts about that is every time he came through and he was like, nope, I got this. I'm like, all right, this is cool. And we weren't too far from his tent, and then we'd hear something, and we'd get up, and he'd be all right. And then the next morning, he's like, nope, gotta go to Polar Bear. Gotta go to Polar Bear. I'm like, okay. And then we go to Polar Bear. We start our journey and do the whole day's worth. He'd come back, go to bed. The third night, I'm like, okay, this is it. We got him covered. He's doing good. About 3 in the morning, we hear him a little bit. Oh, that's fine. His dad checked on him, and all of a sudden I hear the biggest laugh. And I'm like, what's going on? So Mr. Osmond comes out, and I'm like, is everything all right? And he goes, I'm laying there. Tom starts stirring. I go, Tom, you're okay? And he just sat up and went like this to me. He goes, I had to leave the tent. It was just too stirring. So we just sat there laughing. And I'm like, oh, this kid is going to be all right. So now, but then from that point on, I even think that first year you were our senior patrol for an hour? For the whole day. Senior patrol for the day. But you get these two together, and what they did for the troop pushing through was absolutely fantastic. But I think more importantly, what you brought across the board was just energy, And Tom, if we ever needed anybody to do any kind of, get the crew going, we just looked to you, told you to get some energy going, and boom, everybody was following around. And that's true leadership right there too, all right? You don't have to wear a badge that says you're a leader, because you stand there and you become a leader just by doing what you do. And Jack, you brought us through probably one of the most difficult times for Troop 56. All right, here we were in the middle of COVID, and many troops were not even meeting, okay? They just shut down for those 2 years. And we sat and we talked to Jack, and he's like, we can do this over Zoom. And I'm like, I think we can do it too. And he put together a program, and we put together Zoom, and we did some crazy stuff, whatever we could do to keep things going. And we truly picked the best person to get us through those first COVID months by picking Jack. So to you guys, thank you so much for being true 56ers, and I look forward to seeing what you do with the rest of your lives.
Thank you, Mr. Dempsey. Finally, Mr. Caparoso.
Well, guys, I was thinking about this a lot too, and all the good times we've had. I do remember the first time in Sabbats, Jack, the one Mr. Dempsey's talking about. We got caught in that quick rainstorm, and I remember you dropped your flashlight or headlamp, and your sweatshirt got soaking wet. That's just the way it is in the Adirondacks. You never know. It's pop-up storms, and that's what's going to happen. But Jack is the last scout in the troop currently, I think, that's, completed a trek, a Sabbats trek. So if you looked at his little, in the Eagle book that you have over here. I saw you mention it, right? So, before we went on that trek, right, I think you were just turned 13 or? So what it is, when you go on a trek, normally they want 14 years old. So we kind of pushed the envelope a little bit and Jack got to do this. So he was a little concerned. Mom and Dad were a little concerned just because of the age, but you know, I promised them nobody taps out, no matter what. That's just the way we do it. So on this trek, we had 2 carries that were over a mile, right? It wasn't an easy trek. I mean, we did 63 miles, you know, for that total trek that time. But I know he was feeling it Tuesday, I think he was feeling a little uneasy. Can I finish this out? And he pulled through with flying colors at 13 years old. And that was the last time Troop 56 was able to get a trek together. So that's, to me, is a great accomplishment. Even though you take and camp every year in Sabatis, which is our favorite camp, that by far is such a different experience than you experience in camp. So I'm so happy we got to do that together, and it was a really good time. You know, I can't say enough about your leadership through, especially Mr. Dempsey, Mr. Lavender mentioned, through COVID. Unfortunately, you know, for you, everything got shut down. We had very few opportunities to meet together, to go out on trips. We weren't allowed. We weren't allowed to meet in person, so everything was virtual. But we did so much, you know, virtual. We did virtual campouts. There were virtual hikes. It was busier, or as busy as it normally would be in a normal scout year. So I really thank you for that. So that's really awesome. Tommy, you were so good in Sabatis, and every trip we go on, it's like I hear all the time, you know, the younger guys look up to you. You see them scatter, especially like you see one way over there. You call them back and you get them back in your patrol. So you have this knack and ability for drawing people in and making them work with you. But you're funny. You make me laugh every time. It was your first camping trip after, I believe it was after you crossed over, we did Valley Forge. You remember Valley Forge? Your mom actually camped that one. So she explained a little bit about night terrors. So I said, okay, yeah. So then that was the thing. We weren't used to that. I mean, everybody, like Mr. Dempsey said, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, we'd hear that and we thought you were in trouble. So everybody comes to your tent. So, but by the second time we went to Sabatis, I don't remember it happening anymore. So you got used to being out in the wilderness like that, and I mean, it's really been a great thing. I think you did the whole thing completely on your own after that second year, which was awesome. You're still a little guy at that point. But the other thing I remember is we were at Jockey Hollow. We were doing our first 5-mile hike. And you were a lot smaller guy then. You know, now you're, you know, a young adult and you're bigger. But you had struggled with that 5-mile hike. And when you got through it, you were determined to finish it and make sure you finished it. So then there were AT hikes you went on and you finished those. So everything you've done to get here today, it just shows that you have that integrity inside you, that you want to finish this. So it's really awesome. This is one thing I can say. This, I think, is one of the only families we've ever camped with, the whole family. Right? So there was this one particular 2 or 3 days, I think. Mr. Dempsey mentioned it too. There was a shortage of adults in camp this one particular year, and he's right. We had a bigger troop then. So what had happened, I think, what it was Mr. Dempsey, myself, and Mr. Osmond. And that's the same night that Mr. Dempsey talked, it was going on where you got up and told your father to quiet down. But that year, appreciate Mr. Osmond's support. Because without Mr. Osmond, I mean, I think if something happened, because you always have to have 2 adults in camp, so your dad was there to support us with that. We did Troop 56 fishing derby years ago, which I think you hooked your dad like the first 10 minutes of the derby. But you guys had a good time with that. I hope we can do that one again someday. You also, I guess it's kind of sad that you never got to do Up-Zero, but not entirely true. I mean, if we have the weather and everything, you could always do this as adults. It doesn't stop you. And, you know, I did it as an adult. So, anyway, Mr. Osmond, you know, for your support, I can't leave you out of this because you helped us out so much. I got a little something for you that's a covenant, if you'd come on up. Covenant prize. You can't get these anywhere, in a store, online, nothing. But, I don't know if you have one of these. Thank you. Every trip you guys went on with me or participated in, and with this troop, you made it special. So thank you both. Thank you both. I wish you guys, you know, wouldn't grow up so quick, but that's just the way it is. You get 7 years of this, and then, you know, you look at what's coming down the line. But when I count it here today, right, we have a lot of Eagle Scouts in this troop. You saw the sign that was at the flower sale. There's 120 Eagle Scouts in this troop right now. So there's 12 guys out in that audience right now that need some encouragement, all right? And they can make Eagle. But the main thing to make Eagle is you got to stay focused. And focused, right? It's true. That's really true. You have to stay focused, and you're not here, and it's not an easy task to do. So congratulations, guys. I'm glad I was able to be part of this for you.
Thank you, Mr. Caparoso. Jack, how about you come up here for your acceptance speech?
What do I do? Do I do the mentor things now or later?
At the end of yours would be great.
All right. All right, I got a whole sheet here. So I want to take this chance to reflect a little bit on my scouting experience. But before I do that, I want to show some gratitude for the people that have helped me get this far in scouting and in life. First of all, I want to thank all of the adult leaders, because without you all, there would be no meetings, no hikes, no campouts, and no Troop 56. So big hand for the adult leaders. I also want to thank the senior patrol, past and present, for always supporting me as a leader and as a friend. Working with you guys has been a blast, and I don't think I'll ever be so lucky to find a team as good as you all again. Thank you, guys. Mr. Lavender, I want to thank you for your guidance throughout my term as senior patrol leader and as a scout. You are genuinely one of the wisest and intelligent people I've ever had the honor of working with. Your organization and attention to detail. Your organization and attention to detail has not only been integral to the success of this troop, but also to my success as a leader. There is truly no problem that you can't solve. Mr. Dempsey, I want to thank you for your compassion and humor. You've selflessly given your time and effort to plan all the trips that I've enjoyed over the years. And not only that, but you've always brightened my day and my campouts. We don't just call you Poff to make fun of you, although we do like doing that. We call you Poff because you really are the Poff of Troop 56. Mr. Caparoso, I want to thank you for your kindness and encouragement. You always encouraged my brother and I to be the best scouts and the best boys that we can be, and helped us every step of the way on our journey. I don't know how I would have got through my first year of Sabattis without you, and the rest of Scouts, so thank you so much. Mom, I want to thank you for your dedication and your love. You always went out and you bought every single piece of equipment we needed for every trip. You helped us pack. You reorganized the entire basement to fit all the camping gear. And without you, we never would have made it out the door to the meetings on Monday. So thank you. And Dad, you deserve the most thanks of all. You taught me responsibility, tenacity, and almost organization. I'm still working on it. You've seen my room. And without you to encourage me and keep me on track, I definitely would not be up here today. So thank you. So as I stand up here looking back at all my experiences in scouting, I want to reflect on what it means to be an Eagle and hopefully pass on some advice to you younger guys on your journey. Being an Eagle isn't about having one of these fancy ceremonies and the medals and the neckerchiefs. It's about being patient. And stick with me, because patience isn't in the Scout law, yet every moment as a Scout requires you to be patient with yourself and patient with others. Think about how long it takes to become an Eagle. 6 or 7 years for most people. Merit badges, board of reviews, friendships and learning, all of that, it takes a long time. And in order to last that long, to have what it takes to become an Eagle, you need to be patient. Being patient means staying strong during long hikes and hard rainstorms. And the most difficult trip that tested my patience was my trek. It was, Mr. Cap was talking about it. I was a young guy. I mean, you see how skinny I am now. Imagine me at 13. So we had to carry those canoes, eat those jet boil meals, which I have grown to love, and put up with thousands of times more mosquitoes than on Sabattis. In short, it was emotionally and physically exhausting, but I still loved every moment of it. I knew that the many miles of river would soon be canoed, the many mosquito bites that I got would soon go away, and that once I was done with the trip, I would miss the serene beauty of the Adirondacks. I wasn't waiting for it to end, but I was patient by finding beauty in the hardship. I knew that I was challenging myself to become stronger than I ever was and to reach new heights. And at some times it really was difficult to continue, but I had to be patient with myself in order to carry on. Waiting for tough experiences to end is impatient, but a patient Scout recognizes the beauty of every moment, no matter how difficult or tiring. Think back to our most recent Pine Barrens trip. It was cold, it was rainy, and everything was wet the entire weekend. But we didn't leave. We stayed because that's what Scouts do. We came out of that trip stronger than we ever could have been without it because we were patient. We didn't stop canoeing when we all fell in at least 2 times. We didn't pack our bags when our sleeping bags got soaked. And we stood together and we stood strong even when we were tired, hungry, cold, and borderline hypothermic. We were patient and hopeful with ourselves and with our fellow Scouts throughout the entire trip. So I want to leave you Scouts with this advice. Be patient. Don't rush to become an Eagle. Don't fly through all your rank advancements. Don't rush through every river you canoe. And don't sprint up the mountains you hike. Being an Eagle Scout is not about getting to the end and getting to this ceremony. It's about really stopping to experience every moment of scouting. Be patient and enjoy yourself, because before you know it, you'll be up here. Thank you. All right, we'll do the mentor. I'll present my mentor pins now, and I'll be very quick about it because I know I've been up here for a while. The first person I want to give my mentor pin to has been with me my entire life, and she has supported me through everything, through when we were in London, and Mom and Dad weren't around, but she was always with me, and she has supported me in my times of hardship, and she's been with me to celebrate the happy moments. So grandmother, can you come up here for your mentor pin? I want to give my second mentor pin to my dad because he has been the rock of this family and of my scouting experience and my whole life. Without you to be there for me and to help me plan out my Trail to Eagle and help me make all those spreadsheets for the Eagle Project and just everything. So thank you, and I love you, Dad. I don't get an introduction by Raymond.
Oh, yes.
Introduce me. I'll hide over here so you.
Tommy, it's your turn.
Keep clapping till I unfold it. All right. It's my great honor to be speaking to all of you today. I've worked so hard on this accomplishment, and I would like to thank all the scouts and scouters who have helped me through my journey and supported me. I never would have finished my project if it weren't for all the help and support of my friends and family. I do not believe I would be the person I am today without Boy Scouts of America. All of the skills and lessons I have learned, not only from the adults or from the old senior patrol, but from also the younger scouts, will stick with me throughout my life. I remember when I was a young scout who took a dip in the water at Sabattis when I wasn't supposed to, and I almost got hypothermia. I remember how Tyler Rossi helped me get warm and Zach Rossi prevented me from getting sick, and I always try to help younger scouts like that, and I hope I have. I remember when I used to sleep talk, like Mr. Dempsey said, on every camping trip. Once I even sang one of the Sabattis camp songs when I was technically asleep. And while I still do that, Mr. Cap said that I must have gotten more used to camping because I didn't do any more. No, I just learned to sleep on my side, so I wouldn't. If you don't know about the sleep talking, well, now you do because a lot of people said it. I'm so glad I stuck out my scouting journey and obtained Eagle and was able to receive palms. I have so many great stories and experiences, like staying in camp with Raymond when there was a bear in camp. Everyone was at the ice cream social. Dad was worried sick.
And Mr. Dempsey, I would have never known that you sold chicken in a briefcase if I hadn't joined scouting. I wouldn't be as much of a leader as I am today without all the fun experiences and everything. My favorite of which has to be my first year in Pine Barrens, where we had this glorious water battle with the senior patrol. Mr. Hall and I still joke about it today, and it's one of my favorite jokes to joke about. I'm grateful for all the friends I've gained in scouting and all of the opportunities that scouting has brought me and will continue to give me. I'm grateful for all the values I've learned in the Scout Oath and Law, which I will carry with me wherever life takes me. I would like to express my gratitude now. I would like to thank my brother. I've had a great support system through camping and through my journey to Eagle Scout, which is why we're doing this Eagle Scout thing together. And I would like to thank my dad, who pushed me to rank up even when I was being lazy and it was too hard for me. I'm glad he did, because that's really why I was able to have this great accomplishment, especially only at 16. And I would like to thank my mom. My mom brought me into Scouts from my very first year in Cub Scout, and then she became my Cub Master. I got to pie her in the face. I won popcorn, so I got to pie her in the face. That was an enjoyable experience. And she helped me through my first camping trip, which was Valley Forge. She managed to, I was being stubborn about bringing the proper attire, the proper blankets and stuff, but she managed to get the family to accommodate all of that stuff. She always seems to solve problems at a moment's notice. And finally, I would like to thank everyone for their support. I would also like to thank my good friend Dermot McGuire. He has stuck by my side for all these years through Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, wheeling me in a wagon when I was tired at Cub Scout walks and helping me through the camping trips. Seriously, my mom does have some great pictures of us together when we were young. And look at us now. We've come all this way, and we made Eagle just an hour apart from each other. Thank you. Now I will present my mentor badges. Ready for this? Okay. I would like to thank a leader that has stuck by me for all of my years in scouting, even when I was an annoying little brat, as a lot of people have evidence today. He has helped me through all my advancement, helped me to earn all these merit badges, and has taught me many scout skills and also life skills. My favorite memory with him, though a small one, will always be that when we were at the flower sale, we had some downtime and he helped me through some knot tying, for my tenderfoot rank advancement. It was really a great bonding experience, and I got to know him better and see how truly great and nice he is. He's such a caring person, and I would not have grown up to be as good a man as I am today. At least, I hope I am. Some people, Mr. Hall, might disagree with that. I would not have grown up to be as great a person as I am today without him being a role model, a great role model. Mr. Cap, will you come up and accept this mentor pin?
clapping until I get this on. It's on. It's on. All right. Another one, because you all knew it would be too hard for me to pick with just one mentor when I've had so many great mentors in my life. I would also like to thank the person who brought me through scouting, who has helped me through my advancement when the going gets tough. It was well worth it for me at least. I don't know if it was for you, because you and Mom had to deal with all my whining and complaining all the time. And he sees me through it all at home as well. Dad, will you come up and accept this mentor pin? Got a lot of pins now. Maybe put like a silver gold one here. Okay, Raymond, your turn.
Well, congratulations, Tommy and Jack. Mrs. Osmond, would you like to come up for this uniformed little boy?
This uniformed little boy. It seems like only yesterday their eyes were lit with joy as we watched with admiration these uniformed little boys. Campouts, picnics, Pinewood cars. The years slipped quickly by. The colors changed from blue to green in the twinkling of an eye. Soon came ranks of Tenderfoot, Second, First, and Star, each leading to that final quest, one visioned from afar. And then the rake of life, as life can often do, the goal so close within their grasp was dimming from their view. Yet, from within they found the strength to reach the final quest, remembering the words from years gone by, I will do my best. It seems like only yesterday, their eyes were lit with joy as we watched with admiration these uniformed little boys. Now with an eagle upon their chests, they soar where they once ran. No longer those uniformed little boys, our sons, our eagles, our men. Make it very quick, it's been long. I just wanted to say, you've already pointed out what kind of different you guys are, and but both of your paths have brought us here today, and Tom allowed me to speak, so thanks, honey. Or I made him allow me to speak. But just real quickly, I think that Jack, you make it look so easy to be a leader, but maybe what you guys don't know is he really does, he deliberates and has a lot of angst of how he's going to make scouting better for everyone else. It's never really about himself. You've done a great job and you've set a great example, and you've made us so proud. Tommy, yes, you're funny, you are irreverent, and you bring something special to our lives,
But another thing that you don't know about Tommy is he is really determined, and he goes for his goals, and he's actually pretty serious about his schoolwork and about his scouting. So behind all those laughs is a very determined person, and you just taught us so much. And your dad and I want to thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey. I mean, how lucky are we that a dad or a mom can actually have teenagers who want to spend their time with us without distractions of TVs and electronics in the outside world. And you and boys have, and your dad have braved storms and injuries and canoe trips and so much together. You guys have forged a special bond with your dad that can never be taken away from you or replaced. And if you're a new parent or a parent who hasn't wanted to go on a camping trip, it's never too late to start. You'll never get this time back, so go for it. And these guys and women in Troop 56 are the best place to try it out. I always wanted to try camping, and you've made it such a safe place. And canoeing. Jack and Tom, Troop 56 has become your family. You have second, third, and fourth dads and moms, and we're so happy that all of these people have played a part in your story. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I was a pretty nervous scout mom. Yeah. Patrick and maybe Steve Caparoso can attest to some of my lectures. But you've cared for and protected our boys like they were our own, and like they were your own. And Mr. Cap, our favorite story is when we met you at Blue and Gold. You have this long white hair flowing, and you came up to us and you told us how you couldn't wait to go on this trip in Op-Zero and sleep in igloos with the kids. And they weren't officially scouts yet, and Tom and I left, and we were like, oh boy, what are we getting ourselves into? But I'm glad we didn't get scared off. And I'm happy we didn't look back. And Jack and Tommy, you pushed forward. Our family's better for it, and they are better men because of Troop 56. Thank you.
Patrol leader, please retire the colors.
Yep. Color guard, assemble.
Please rise.
Aiden's not here anymore. Aiden left. Take Aiden left.
Color guard, hold for a second. Before we close, I just want to thank Mr. Klug for putting this all together. He does an amazing job every time, so let's just give him a round of applause. Color guard, retreat.
Ladies and gentlemen, please have a seat, gentlemen. The Eagle Scout rank represents proficiency in scouting skills is obtained by less than 5% of all young men in scouting. Actually, all people in scouting. This is an old script. It represents a great deal of teamwork, and as a member and leader of this troop, we have recognized that Jack and Tom, their worthiness by living the Scout oath and law on a daily basis. Their achievement represents years of hard work, strength of character, persistence, and more importantly, is indicative of what lies in their future as they grow from scouts to men. The Eagle Scout rank testifies as a scout his understanding of his community, his nation, and his willingness to become involved and apply his skills to improve our world. Gentlemen, I remind you that we are Eagle Scouts. We are the modern-day knights. It is not a duty, but is our privilege to share and serve. Continue.
As an Eagle Scout, I will be trustworthy, loyal, friendly. As an Eagle Scout, I will be as an Eagle Scout, I will be courteous, As an Eagle Scout, I will be cheerful, thrifty, brave. As an Eagle Scout, I will be brave, clean, and reverent. On my honor, I will do my best to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. As an Eagle Scout, on my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to other people at all times to help other people. As an Eagle Scout, on my honor, I will do my best to God, my country, and obey the Scout law. As an Eagle Scout, I accept the As an Eagle Scout, I accept the obligations and responsibility, service, courage, and honor. It is a high honor to be an Eagle Scout. It is a high honor to be an Eagle Scout. I put out this gold candle, but the flame will soon burn out in my heart forever. But do we do it? Oh, are we missing? We will be prepared, and we will be obedient and cheerful. Do return daily.
A quick story, we used to have like little stickies on this, and then some friends kind of shuffled them around, poor Eagles up here trying to finish off, but you don't live the Scout oath and law in the order that is recited, so that's fine. Gentlemen, thank you very much for a wonderful time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. Please make a friend if you haven't met everybody around here. Thank you all.
We're gonna cut the cake, so
Yeah, just whatever. Oh, no rush.
There might be some under here.
Oh, Tommy has them? Tom?
Ask Mr. Osmond, because I think he brought those.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll ask him. Well done. That was my first one.
Roll 'em up, and I think there's a sleeve. Okay. Hi. Hi. How are you? You good? You get to hold this so it doesn't touch the ground.
You already signed my papers. I don't need to do anything for you. I'm just doing this because I like you.
Oh, there's medication for that. I really had it, Mr. Cap. You know what? We're gonna need a chiropractor for this guy. Dave, we're gonna need a chiropractor for this guy. He's gonna be tilted.
I know. He's gonna need like a bro to like help hold it up.
Thank you. I know we kind of scrambled with the medals. I kind of went like, oh, sorry. Mr. Dempsey, thank Oh, yeah. Do I have everybody?
No, I won't sign it.
Huh?
I won't sign it.
Well, sign it anyway.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, there they are.
Any specific spot in this square? Everyone else did it in this square, so I'll do it in the square.
Yeah, that's okay. Just leave that spot right there for Michael.
Okay.
My son has to sign it. There looks good.
Here?
Yeah.
Here?
Either place, wherever you want. Hey, thank you, lad. Well done. We're gonna have you, Sergeant Rouge.
Well done again.
Thank you. I have a question for you.
Picture you with Jack and Tommy.
Do I have to listen? You didn't get a call from council, did you? No. That guy's a nice. It's not. He was just chasing on. Oh yeah, well we need more help and stuff. Well, and I said, you know, I gave you someone who's exceptionally gifted.
What date did I get my... I assume that's what?
Oh, that's what they're doing. What's your board of review? I don't remember. Oh, you know what? Thank you. Good to see you. You know what? It might be on the program. I don't have a full program.
You know what? You're right.
Attention! Attention! All 56ers! Come up for a picture, all 56ers!